Hey guys, it's Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my current everyday makeup look. This makeup routine kind of changes depending on the season and time of year, and then also on what products I've tried lately, what I've been loving. So I just kind of wanted to do an updated routine of some of the new products I've been absolutely loving and just a super simple look that I wear every day for summer. So if you're interested in that, keep watching, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos. All right, let's get into it. I already prepped my skin with my Dermalogica Dynamic Skin Recovery. This has SPF 50 and it works as an SPF and then also as a moisturizer, which is awesome. So having an SPF on your skin every single day is super important. It works to protect your skin from the sun and also prevents premature aging, which I'm all about. So definitely make sure you're protecting your skin, whether it's in your moisturizer or in your foundation or BB cream type product. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This stuff will just give you like a nice glowy, lit from within, luminous look under your makeup. So I'm kind of going for that like glowy summer vibe. That's kind of what I've been doing recently. So although I have normal, sometimes oily skin, I still like to look glowy. So that's kind of what we're doing today. If you don't want that extra luminosity, then you can go in with a different kind of primer. On the opposite side of the spectrum, another primer I've been loving is this one from Bobbi Brown. It's the Primer Plus Mattifier, and this is a mattifying primer. So I kind of am on both sides. Sometimes I want to be glowy and sometimes I want to be matte. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. So today we're going glowy. For foundation, I'm going in with my BareMinerals BarePro. I have been using this quite a bit lately. I'm just going to pump some of it onto my hand, and then this shade is a bit too light for me, so I'm going to put in a little bit of my NYX Foundation Mixer in the shade Olive just to kind of deepen it up just a tad so that it matches my skin a little bit better. And then I'm going to mix it together and apply it to my face. Per usual, I'm going in with my Ecotools Sponge, and I'm just going to pounce this and blend it into my face. You can definitely leave it like this. I am going to put just a little bit more of that foundation into the areas right here where I have some acne scars, just so that I can get some more coverage. This foundation is super buildable, which is awesome because sometimes I don't care about that extra coverage, but today I want it, so I like that I can build it up if I want to. Now that my foundation is done, I'm gonna go in with my Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel. I'm going back in with that Ecotools bronze or sponge, and I'm just going to place just the tiniest bit of this in the areas that I'm going to bronze up anyway. I just love the way that these cream products look in the summer, so I just like to take just the smallest amount and kind of put a base down of the bronze that I'm going to put in powder. I've just been such a fan of liquid bronzers recently, and I saw that L'Oreal is collabing with Camila Cabello, and they have a liquid bronzer, so I'm really excited to try that one out when it launches. I think it launches like next week. I'm gonna pick up the collection and test it out for you guys. So I am hoping that I'll have a really good liquid bronzer to recommend to you guys, because this is the only like cream bronzer I have in my collection right now, and I just haven't seen any other ones that I'm excited to try, but I'm definitely gonna try that one out, so stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have a dupe for you soon. Okay, so moving on to powder, I'm gonna set my entire face with the Milani Prep Set and Glow. This I really like because it isn't going to totally mattify you, but it is going to set your makeup and keep it in place all day. And that's really what I'm looking for, especially in the summer. For bronzer, I'm going to go in with my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Bronzer. I did a full video on this that I'll link up here for you guys. I really love this. I mentioned in the video that it said that it had coconut oil or something like that in it, and I didn't notice the smell of coconut, but the more I use it, the more I smell the coconut, which I just cannot stand the smell of coconut. But for some reason, this is, I don't know, I guess it just like dissipates quickly enough, or it's subtle enough that it doesn't really bother me that much. So if you are sensitive to coconut, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer is the one that I'm always so sad I can't use because it's such an amazing bronzer. So if you are looking for a really good bronzer from the drugstore, that one is seriously amazing, but I had to give it to my sister because I could not stand the smell. And it was so pretty, I kept trying to try it, and like suffer through the smell and hope that it would dissipate, but I could smell it throughout the day. I would end up washing my face. So yeah, if you like the smell of coconut, definitely try that one out because it's amazing, and it has a bit more of the scent than this one does, but it is a really good drugstore bronzer. For blush, I've kind of been going back and forth between a couple of them. I've been using the Milani Romantic Rose. This I picked up right before I did my full face of Milani video, which I will link up here. And then I've also really been loving Becca Songbird. It's this one, and they do sell this as a single blush. I just have it in this palette. That was a limited edition palette, but this Songbird shade is so pretty. Today I'm going to use the Milani one because I've been going back and forth equally, and I have shared a lot of more expensive products today, so I'm gonna try and mix between drugstore and expensive. I'm just obsessed with this blush. It looks so good every single time. For my highlight, I'm going in with Champagne Pop from Becca. This is just the most gorgeous champagne highlight that's ever existed. How pretty is that? This I think was my first high-end highlight ever, and I still am not tired of it. I think it's the most gorgeous thing ever. Then of course I'm going to set my face with the Milani Make It Last and blend it back out with my Ecotools Sponge. This is kind of, if you guys have seen me ever do my makeup, this is a step that is always the same. And I have gotten a couple of questions in the comments in other videos asking if you use the sponge wet, and yes, I wet down the sponge to do my foundation, and then it's the same sponge, it's just still wet. So once you set your face and then you blend it back out with the sponge, it just kind of sets everything into place and melts all of your makeup together, so it just looks absolutely perfect. Let's move on to eyes. I'm going to go into this palette. This is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I did a full video on this palette as well that I will link up here. This has just kind of been my go-to palette recently. I am obsessed with it. So first I'm just going to blend out the creases on my eyelids from the foundation, and I'm going to pick up Weekender, which is this matte bone shade, and just kind of set my eyelids so that I have an even template. So obviously I know that this is an expensive palette, so I showed you guys one look with it when I did that review video, but I figured I would try and use it in a few more videos so you guys can see other looks that you would do with it. But that video I did a look that was like less Sarah-y. So today I'm gonna do just kind of like a very basic eye look, which is what I do day to day. So I'm going to pick up Riff. This is definitely the shade that I'm gonna hit pan on first because it's just the perfect transition shade. And I'm just throwing that in my crease and just kind of everywhere. It's probably getting all over the lid, and that is totally fine. So I'm just doing windshield wiper motions, and then I'll also kind of do small circles. So I just kind of do a mix between the two, just to kind of really get that color in there. Next, I'm going to pick up Still Shot, which is this more peachy shade, and I'm gonna put that in my crease just a little bit lower. You guys know that I'm not having crazy eyeshadow or crazy makeup every day of the week. Generally speaking, I'm pretty simple when it comes to my eye makeup, so today is going to be no different. 9 times out of 10, this is the only eyeshadow that I will apply. So now I'm going to go in with this little smudge brush, and I'm going to pick up Punk and Jet and just kind of mix them together. And I'm going to kind of stamp that on my lash line. And I'm going about halfway in. And then once I kind of have placed the product, I will smudge it out a little bit more. And kind of do these like wiping motions. I just kind of want it to look like a blended out eyeliner because I don't want a super precise eyeliner. This is a casual look. I just want it to look very effortless and like everyday, and this is kind of like what works for me. I love using eyeshadow as eyeliner, like for daytime. For night, I like to use a liquid. All right, then I'm going to go back into this shade and then this peachy shade, just to kind of blend under my lower lash line and just kind of match what I did on my eyelids. And then I'll go in with just the brown shade Punk, and I will blend that out on my lower lash line about halfway in. Okay, so now it is time for mascara. If you guys saw my video I posted it yesterday. It was the BoxyCharm unboxing. I mentioned that I had taken off my eyelash extensions, so my eyelashes were kind of ruined by the entire eyelash extension experience that I had. So they are in the process of regrowing. I hope it's only been since yesterday. So I'm using a serum again and trying to get them to grow back out, but they kind of look like trash. So it is what it is. I'm just going to move on and keep hoping that they grow out quickly. But this is one of my favorite mascaras, especially when my lashes look better than they do right now. But yeah, this is the Stila one, and I just have this little travel guy. While I let the first coat of mascara dry, I'm gonna move on to lips. As you guys know, I love a nude lip, so it's no surprise that in the summer I go for like more of an effortless look. So I'm gonna show you a couple of different options of what I have done lately. So I've been loving this Becca and Chrissy Teigan gloss. This is in the shade Beach Bum. It's super, super natural and glossy and creamy. It feels great on the lips. It's a little bit tingly, but not like the painful tingly. It smells like a candy cane and I just love it. So this is a pretty opaque gloss, and I like the way that it kind of looks like a monochromatic look with my simple eyeshadow and then simple lip gloss. So this is one of the options. And then I have two others that I've been loving. This one from Wet n Wild, it's the liquid catsuit, and this is in the shade Nudeist Peach. I've worn this in a couple of videos now, and I just think it's so pretty for summer. So this is what this one looks like. Obviously it will dry down and be a matte, so if you're looking for something that will stay all day, is pretty comfortable on the lips, but it's transfer proof and kiss resistant and all of that, this is the one for you, the Wet n Wild liquid catsuit. All right, and then my third and last option is from Tarte. It's the Tarteist Glossy Lip Paint in the shade Goals. I also love this one. It is super creamy and it feels really, really good on the lips. And this is how that one looks. I love this formula. This one is not transfer resistant or kiss proof or anything. It is a glossy one that will transfer. It will fade off like a gloss does, but I really love that it's a little bit more of a pop of color than a typical gloss is, and it's just a gorgeous shade for summertime. All right, I'm gonna do a second coat of mascara on my lashes. Alrighty guys, that is everything for this video. This is my finished makeup look. This is kind of what I've been looking like every single day lately. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.